Since its founding in 1749, Halifax has been the destination for many thousands of immigrants from Europe. From 1956 to 1969, over 325,000 Italian immigrants arrived in Canada. Many arrived at Pier 21, the ocean terminal just behind me. Today, it is Canada's National Museum of Immigration, celebrating the arrival of thousands of new Canadians. Many arrived in transatlantic passenger ships. Some, after a voyage by ship, would continue their journey by rail aboard a Canadian National Railways train, like this one, while others arrived by plane. Those who stayed in Halifax made a life for themselves and their families in this East Coast city. This video is based on conversations with 8 Italian-Canadian women who arrived in Halifax between 1960 and 1970. The topics range from their reasons for coming, the difficulties of learning a new language and finding work, to what life was like in the Nova Scotian capital at the time of their arrival.
My life in Italy, like I say, I was born in a family that we were a lot of people, about sometimes even 52, 53 people in the big family where I was born. And then when I was just 2 years old, my father with his brothers and his father, we came to live in a village in the province of Udine, which is, the name is Prodolone. It's in the province of Udine at that time. So I was just 2 years old at that time when I came. And I lived there up to 19 years old, of my age. Because when I was just 19, I got married. And we came to Canada soon after.
We went to school and, we went from October to June. And in summertime we always had something to do because we had land and animal and you learn about doing everything.
I grew up in a farm. I went to school until I was 11 years old, and then I had to stay home to do my chores, work the farm and everything, and help my mom. Then my mom died when I was 18, and I had to take over. I had a brother, and I had to take care of my brother and my father. So I came to Canada when I was 20 years old.
I left all my life in Italy. All my friends, all my hairdresser, do you know the kind of everyday life that you do in Rome? In Rome.
You said,
Yes, I do. After we closed the house, basically with all the furniture, we left everything in there. We came over here with 6 suitcases and 1 trunk, basically. And my father-in-law was looking after the house, going over there to see if everything was okay. The apartment was an apartment. And after 1 year, my husband asked me again, do you want to go back or do you want to stay? And I decided to stay because my daughter was very happy here. I mean, being born in Rome, I had to take her every day to the public garden, maybe, in Rome to play. Over here, she was free to go in the backyard, have friends and neighbors. It was a completely different life for her. And she was so happy that I did it for them.
I find my lovely husband, and we were a young couple, and we went to Switzerland for 2 years, you see. And then we decide to go back in Italy because my husband and the family, they have a store, a general store, was everything. And somebody was tired, we got back, we started that to keep going, it was very well. But I decided to go to Canada because they were in 3 brothers, and I was working for nothing there.
You were?
Yeah, for nothing. I helped the store, but they didn't pay me because it was the wife of. And with my brother here in Canada, I said, why we don't come to Canada? And then, in '66, I came to Canada.
I was more helping second mother with my mom. I work in, eventually, when everybody was a little bit more growing up, I work in a dry cleaner for 10 years. And one summer, 1968, my future husband came home. He was here in Canada for 11 years. And he came home to visit his family. His family and my family, they have in mind that I'm supposed to marry him. And I used to say to my mom, do you like Ivano? And she would say, yes, he's coming from a good family. And I said, well, you can marry him. That was me. My mom used to say that I have a long tongue because I answer every time. And he came and he has the diamond, and he asked my parents that we decide to get him married, and I thought he never really asked me to get married, but I go to Canada.
Mom said she's not going to go to Canada, she's going to stay here. She's going to stay. So I had a boyfriend, you know what I mean? And then Carmen started to write me. And my father said, no, you're going to go to Canada and you're going to have a better life. You're going to be signora.
Yeah, be a signora.
Be a signora. Yeah. But I'm still waiting. It's 53 years. I'm still waiting to be a signora. But anyway, so I came here, and the rest is history. I got married. I had 3 kids. And I worked ever since I came.
We went to Napoli and get the Olympia. It was a Greek boat. And I remember that they say, they were speaking parlavano in greco, and I remember the word parakalò. It means attention maybe, no? E insomma mi sono stata malata tutto il tempo perché mal di mare.
Per tutti e quindi all 15 days you were seasick?
Yeah. E mi ricordo che mangiavo quello che mi piaceva, i biscotti col tè. Mi ricordo.
Soltanto biscotti
col tè. E facevano sto mangiare che a me non piaceva tanto perché non ero abituata.
By plane. We had to take the train to Rome. That we had a medical checkup in there with the stamp, the passport, and then we got on the plane to Paris to Montreal to Shewater because the airport was not done yet.
And so did you have to go by train from Montreal to Shearwater?
No, fly. We fly through, yeah.
Were you, during your trip or before coming to Canada, were you very worried of coming? No? You were young, you didn't care?
I was young, I said 2 years to go fast, so we just figured we left.
And the other young girls, they were really optimistic, very happy.
Yeah, well, they was much older than me, so they had traveled before. They was okay.
Okay. When you came here, when you arrived, where did you arrive?
We were in Shewater. They pick us up. There was a couple who pick us up. They drive us to Halifax. And they put us in the garden, and in front of the townhouse there, and they said to us, wait here, we have business and we pick you up in 2 hours.
The garden is what? It was...
in front of the City Hall.
City Hall?
It's a little piazza.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And they left you all 4 of the young women there?
Yes. So we was hungry and thirsty, so we tried to go and get some to drink.
Yeah.
We went in, we saw a tavern. So we thought, we could go in there and have a glass of water or no tea and things like that. But we got stopped from a guy and he said, no, you cannot go in. Nobody speak English. So we knew that no was no. So then we walked down Barrington Street and we find a 5 and 10 store.
Yeah.
And we went in, we sat down, we had a cup of tea and a banana and muffin because we had $5 each.
Everybody had
Had
$5.
So that's what we had, and then we went back to the park and sit down and wait for them to come and take us
Who
up.
were the two people that
One was the manager at the factory and the secretary.
We came with a boat from the Queen Anna Maria. It was actually a cruise ship. It was a Greek ship, but was a cruise ship coming from New York. It was coming around. It was picking up also some passenger in Naples. And that's why we came with the boat. Was 9 days in the water, of course. Was not bad. For us, was not bad. Was a bit rough at times. You could hear the boat also doing all kind of noise, thinking that it was breaking up and down sometime, I thought, but I guess it didn't happen. But was good, was good. Our trip was good, but other people much more sick than us because it was a boat, small boat, and the water sometimes was really rough. But no, it was a good trip overall. It was a good trip, yeah. We arrived here in Halifax in Pier 21. I remember it was dark, snowing, and we were coming in the port, and I said to my husband, Alec, at that time, Alessio, my goodness, where are we going? You know, I see these little houses in here, little houses in there, and a little bit of a light. I said, I think we are going at the end of the world in here. But we arrived. Of course, we arrived at Pier 21. At that time, Pier 21 was really an awful place. It was an old warehouse, all open. It's not like it's now, of course. It was just a bad impression coming in at that moment, you know. But overall, it was not bad. It was not bad. We got adjusted soon.
Adjusting to life in a new country with a new language, new foods and customs that seemed foreign was a challenge. Finding work was not always easy, and cultural stereotypes had to be overcome. Nevertheless, these women succeeded in adapting to their new circumstances.
Different. You know, where I come from, there was a mountain.
And here, what?
And here, well, you know, everything was different. It's hard to explain, you know, the change in your life, a total change. First of all, I miss my family, of course, you know, mom and dad and my brother and my friends. That was number one. And then everything was different. I didn't speak a word of English. You know, it's not easy. No. And I miss my town, I miss my church, the mountain especially. And I miss the smell of the woods, the smell of the flower mountain, you know. It's funny what you miss, that when you're there you don't even realize it, you know. All of a sudden you wake up, what happened, where am I, you know? And the few times that we went back, always go in the mountain because I want to smell the flower of the mountain. It's like, oh, it's like a breath of life to me, you know? And I said, I didn't even know when I was here. You know, you don't realize it. Then you go back and you say, aye. Because, you know, different, although that I love Canada. I've been in Canada more than I've been in Italy, really, you know. And now, no, I won't even go back, you know. But that, something like that stays in your mind.
Well, it was very boring because I work all my life, you know, in Italy, in the fabric over here. I started at 16, and I came here when I was 29. And, you know, I start to do crochet because I like to do crochet, and I make some dresses. But, you know, to do crochet takes a lot of time, and actually, I was not happy at all to be here because I didn't have a job.
And you were just
But at the
working
same
at
time, I
home.
have the little gear. Marcia was, I came here, Marcia, she was 4 years old.
Okay. Oh, Marcia was born
4
in
years
Italy.
old when she came
Okay,
here.
Marcia was born in Italy.
And then I moved to this apartment in Dartmouth, and in the 70s, I took a business in Dartmouth, tailoring, and with a guy, with a partner. The name was Nick De Nicola. No, Nick Giansante, not De Nicola.
So he was Italian as well?
Italian as well, but he was really a professional tailor, you see. To me, I was professional, but not up, you know, like him. But I was looking after the client, and I learned, you know, and I do everything now.
But after 2 years, I learned English. I learned, and I went to work at the hotel. And I worked there for 18 years. Yeah.
So was it hard to become, to integrate in Halifax, to make friends, or?
No, because like I said, I always work with the Canadian people. I didn't have a job with the Italian people that I was forced to learn English. You know what I mean? I was forced to learn. But, and of course, I always get along with everybody. I try to get along with everybody, you know what I mean? I did not stay just with the Italian community. I just branched out. And plus, like I said, I was at the hotel and we were, my God, 20, 30 ladies. We were always together, like, you know, lunchtime, we used to come down for lunch. And we're all sat at the table and, you know, we always, you know, get along.
So you had your community?
I had my community, yes, yes. So then from there, I decided, well, I went to work for St. Joseph Daycare Center on Brunswick Street, and I was there for another 26 years.
Did you learn English? Did you learn it by yourself?
Yes, mouth to mouth. I never went to school because I was supposed to be home with the children. Not that my husband didn't want, but that time is not what we have now, the chance to go and learn. It's quite different. I remember I say, oh my gosh, Halifax is not very, it wasn't the city you have now.
So how was it different from what you expected the city to be?
Because there wasn't too many people. What impressed me the most was, even if it was raining, no umbrella, everybody go in rain, under the rain, it was fine, and I thought, that's crazy. And I remember the lady used to go for grocery at the store with the rolling on their head and a mink coat. And I thought, doesn't make sense. Mink coat, boots, plastic boots or rubber boots, and the rolling. Oh my gosh, I said, strange people. Believe me, I was not impressed.
Well, it's a difficult question because the young people, they grew up here. Did you remember when my husband was alive and we having supper, you know, Marcia, she tried to speak always in English. And my father always said, Marcia, this is Italy. Out there, the door is Canada, okay? You have to keep the language going. But they were ashamed because they were Italian speaking another language.
So you think even Marzia's generation was ashamed?
That's right, that's right. Sometimes, for example, because they think we eat pasta. We don't eat pasta every day, maybe once a week. Potatoes. My husband eats potatoes.
Of course,
But they think we eat potatoes and pasta. That is not true.
I was in this community, but I noticed that there was a need at the time of an Italian language school, because some few people, I think 2 or 3 people before me, they tried to have an Italian language school, and they didn't succeed. Then there was a Mr. Bianchini, the head librarian of Mount St. Vincent, that basically he said he helped me out. He said what they did is send out a questionnaire, say we have a new teacher in town. She would be able to teach your children. And I think at the beginning I had just 15 children, different ages. Maybe they were from the age of 7 to 15, only one class.
Altogether.
Yeah, I used to teach up here. The school board gave us a room in the junior high school up here, Fairview Junior High.
Yeah.
And I used to teach there, these 15 children. I started like that. And now we have more than 200
In
students.
our school now.
And more opportunities here. I had more opportunities here because, like I said, we were living in a farm, so we didn't have a chance to get a job unless you moved into town or in the city. So I didn't have a chance to go to school over there either. So I had more chance here. So I have, like my brother, when he came, well, he went to, I don't know what grade he had in Italy. So he came here and he went to school here. He went to university for 15 years. So, and he became a psychologist. So in Italy, he wouldn't have had the same opportunity. Yeah, because first of all, we didn't have the money to pay. And plus, you know, there's no chance. Yeah, if you're not figlio di papà, you're not going to go anywhere.
And what do you think was your biggest challenges when you came here as an immigrant woman? What were the hardest things to do?
To learn the language and get accepted and get going.
And what about the food? I've heard that people, it was...
Well, the food was the hard part, more than the language in some time. Yes, yeah.
And when you were in Stellarton,
Yes.
Did you just get used to Canadian food?
Well, we was lucky in one way because we live with the family, with this Italian family. But the problem with them, they want to be, they was very stingy, I don't know, they was very...
They didn't want to spend money.
They didn't want to spend money, so the food was limited. But was okay because they used to cook an Italian way. But then we moved because we want to learn English, so we moved with an English family, an older couple. They took us in, and they was very nice. They used to buy whatever we want. They took us to shopping, they just paid the bill, and then we cook our own food.
You were like the daughters of
That's
this
it,
couple.
yes.
Yeah?
They just, they was very good to us.
And
And that's
when-
how we learned the English, most of it.
I have to tell another thing. I never want to go back.
You don't want to go.
No, right now, because my life is here. My 5 grandchildren, my 2 sons married, and I help everybody. And this is my life. Canada is beautiful. Canada is beautiful. Wherever you want to be, Canada is the best. But I was born over there, and you got 2 lives. You know, you got 2 lives. You don't know when you are an immigrant, and you know 2 kinds of life. You don't know which one you like. I like this. I like over there.
Yeah.
But I'm happy. I'm really happy where I am.
Would you ever think of going back to Italy, or is it?
No. Here is where's my husband,
Yeah.
and here where I will be buried when it will be my time.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Wanda.
You're
Sei
welcome.
simpaticissima e hai una storia bellissima.
Thank you. My children, they are very proud of me because they ask me to move with them. We can sell the house, Mom, and you come with us. And I said, no. I said, the 5th wheel doesn't get along with the 4. That's for sure. I said, you have to live your life, and I have to live my life. And I'm happy the way I am.
Very hard-working people. We all are, you know. Hey, you either swim or you sink. Right or no?
The stories these women tell of leaving their homeland and starting a new life in Canada give us an insight into their resolve and strength and the centrality of family and culture in making the most of their immigration experiences.